Well, good morning, friends. Thank you for joining me for another devotion time together. Hope your Monday has started off good and it's going to be a good week for you. I'm out here on the patio. Actually, I'm filming this on Saturday afternoon before, and the sun is just right. It's warm. It's probably 45 degrees in the air, but sun is warm, getting a little extra vitamin D, and thought this would be a good time to record this for all of us, and so here I am. You ever had a really humiliating experience? I mean, something that just humbled you right to the core. Oh my. I've had several of those along the way in my life, and particularly in ministry, and one that just, this one was early on, and it just really rocked my world. So this goes back to when I was just getting started in Christian music. I had signed on with Singcord Records out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was the recording division of Zondervan Corporation and Singspiration Music, and I'd hooked up with a man named John W. Peterson, who was friend and a great mentor, great gospel music composer. He was heading Singspiration Music in those days, and my good friend Dick Hatfield and all the team of folks that were there, and actually had produced my first album recording with Singcord Records called Five Rows Back. And if you've not heard Five Rows Back, it's a great country gospel song written by John Peterson, one of my sugar sticks over the years, and I'm sure you could find it on YouTube somewhere. But anyway, Five Rows Back, and we did that in 1975, so I'm dating myself here. And the very next year, John Peterson and Don Wurtson got their heads together. That was 1976, so that was the bicentennial year. And so they got their heads together and they wrote a fantastic musical called I Love America. Great. And I mean, it was just, it just took the Christian nation of America by storm. And I was privileged to record couple of songs in that one I remember very well, called I'm Just a Flag Waving American, right? I'm just a flag waving American, a citizen I'm really proud to be. And there were several great songs in this musical. Well, they had decided in the summer of that year we were going to do this big premiere performance of I Love America in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Calvin College Auditorium. Big, beautiful auditorium. Going to have full orchestra and choir. And I mean, it was just a full-blown deal. And so when we all got together there, they realized there was one solo in this musical that had not been given out, not assigned. And it was a song called Johnny Bull. It was about a young redcoat soldier, and it was a fast song, and it had lots of words in it, and they had forgotten to give it out to any of the soloists that were there. So so they threw it out. Who wants to take this on? There were no takers, and finally I raised my hand and said, I'll do it. Well, I had to get it ready to go that day, and I've always been pretty good at memorizing songs. I mean, I've got so many lyrics in my head. People ask me, how many songs do you know? I don't know the number. I mean, I can hear a tune and all of a sudden the lyrics begin to flow. Just like that. I'm Just a Flag Waving America. I hadn't sung that in forever and still know the lyrics too. You probably could sing the whole chorus for you, but nonetheless. So I was quite confident that I could learn the lyrics to this song and get it down pat and do it. So I worked on it all day. And came time for the performance. The auditorium was packed, 1,500, 2,000 people in there. Got a 100-voice choir and a 50-piece orchestra. And Maestro John W. Peterson up there directing the music. And it comes time for Johnny Bull. And I get up there and I start into the first verse and I got it down. And the chorus, and I'm just having a great time. And it came for the turnaround to the second verse. And only two verses in the song. And I couldn't have told you my name. My brain went blank. And I'm standing there looking at John Peters in this audience. And I'm speechless. And so here's all these people, and here's poor John. He's out there, and he's directing away, and he's looking up at me like, and the song was so fast. I mean, even if I could have remembered some of the lyrics, there was no way I was going to get back into this thing. So finally, about halfway through the second verse, I just walked off the stage. I got in the back room, and I'm kicking chairs, and I mean, not a very spiritual occasion for Johnny Hall. And then here comes Lyndall Bingham, my good friend, comes in the back room, and he settles me down and says, man, hey, don't worry about it. It's okay. It happens to everybody. I'm thinking, yeah, but not to me, right? Not to me. And so, I mean, just a really, truly humiliating experience, one that is etched in my brain I have never forgotten. But you know what I've learned along the way as a result of that experience and so many others? We want so much to be perfect. We want to put ourselves forward as the confident people that just can do anything, can make anything happen. And you know, the problem with that is there's just a really big bunch of pride involved in that. And it's been my experience over the years that when pride raises its ugly head, God has a way of knocking us down a notch or two. And it may hurt in the offing, but then you realize how important this was. Because you know, my friends, it's really not about us. We're just here for a short space of time to be mouthpieces for Christ, for our exalted Lord. And by the way, he's not going to share his glory with anybody else. It's not our glory, it's his glory. That's what we're promoting here. That's what we're pushing everybody towards. His glory. His glory, right? Yeah, not our own. And I'd like to tell you that it's a lesson fully learned. But it's one we have to watch all the time and be sure in our hearts and in our minds that what we're doing, even though we're called to do it with excellence, even though we're called to get out there and make it happen, and we're called to be confident people. But confident in what? Confident in ourselves, confident in our voices. I mean, what do we have that hasn't been given to us? What strength, what energy, what voices, what appearance, what if anything do we have that hasn't been gifted to us? Doesn't really belong to us. He made it. He made us. He made the voices. He made the appearances. Our countenance. Everything about us is God made. And he deserves all the glory for it. And that's just one of those things we have to keep in the frontal lobe while we do the work of the gospel. And so, you know, there's just so many great songs and great messages for us to pay attention to. And one that comes to my mind is, I think, these thoughts. I am thine, O Lord. I have heard thy voice. Draw me nearer, 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 blessed Lord, to thy precious bleeding side. Keep me on this pathway, Lord. Keep me on a path that is drawing me nearer to you and further away from me, further away from my wants, my thoughts, and closer to your wants and to your thoughts, so that the all-consuming aspect of my life is not really about me and not so much about what I might even be doing for the Lord, but so much more of what he is and who he wants to be in and through me, that Jesus might be praised. Let's sing this song together. And as we do, for all of us, may we even in these moments experience a drawing and find that even in this day, we're nearer to him, closer to him. That's what the Christian life and experience really should be all about, right? Draw me nearer, precious Lord, to your precious bleeding side. Hallelujah. God bless you. Have a great week.